watching the IUP TV News Bulletin, bringing you stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community on Channel 6 and 20.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our news broadcast from Davis Hall. My name is John Hurl.
And my name is Chloe Pilston, bringing you stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community. We will broadcast this program every Thursday for the rest of the semester.
Students at IUP can expect to see some interesting changes to their usual online platforms in 2024. On IUP's website, university officials reported that the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education is preparing to implement a common student information system called OneSys. This program will include cross-registration and academic sharing across all state system schools and will enable a high level of university autonomy. As for what will be affected, here's what we know. My IUP and the IUP mobile app will be replaced with a new tool called a Lucian Experience, and all users will be given a new banner ID. Online reporting will be removed in order for new reporting solutions to be investigated. Customizations made by IUP that use banner data will either be retired or transitioned to a new platform. IT services and core banner officials here at IUP are currently working to find an alternative for that purpose. OneSys is expected to go into full effect in January of next year, with individual models being released between fall 2024 and summer 2025.
Before this week, the earthquake in Turkey claimed 44,000 lives and left tens of thousands of people homeless. Earlier this week, a tremor with a magnitude of 6.4 shook the border between Turkey and Syria, causing more buildings to fall and the death toll to rise. People living in Jordan, Cyprus, Israel, Lebanon, and Egypt also felt this earthquake. 6 people have been confirmed dead since the tremor, and many more are trapped underneath the rubble. The tremor was then followed by a 5.8 aftershock just 3 minutes later. Even though the number of injuries caused by this quake is very high, experts believe the death toll is much lower this time because the area was almost completely abandoned because of the damage caused by the February 6th earthquake. The Turkish government is doing what they can to hold the people accountable who are responsible for the poor construction. Hopefully, the quakes stop and Turkey and its surrounding countries can begin to rebuild and regrow.
Looking for some new entertainment? Check out IUP TV today. This station features student-created content such as The Big Hit for sports coverage, Animation Nation for all things anime and toon, Indie Rockers Ball for local music acts, Press Start for your game fix, and Witticism for a laugh. Tune in on campus TV or on our respective YouTube channels today. There's something for everyone, made by the people that you know.
President Joe Biden recently made a surprise visit to the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, showing support for the war-stricken country while meeting with its president, Vladimir Zelensky. President Biden made the dangerous trip from Poland to Kyiv on a 10-hour train ride. As he walked around the capital's palace with President Zelensky, many people see it as a blatant show for the president of Russia. He seems to be saying that he isn't afraid and he knows Russia will lose this war. With the anniversary of the attack on Ukraine coming up, President Biden is clearly trying to make an impact with his belief in democracy. He also said that the U.S. has an unwavering support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity.
The war certainly affected many people around the world since Russia invaded Ukraine a year ago. As we remember the first attack last year, we wanted to share with you how it affected a Ukraine student in IUP. Here's the story.
Russia's attack on Ukraine is spreading its influence across the globe. It's even making an impression here in Indiana County, and not just on product prices.
I cannot focus, I cannot think even about my dissertation or my studies.
Oksana Moroz and her family are studying abroad here at IUP, all while the situation in their homeland intensifies. Before all of this, she had plans.
So I'm in a dissertation writing stage, so I'm supposed to write my dissertation, and that was happening before.
Moroz is here for a PhD in composition and applied linguistics. About Ukraine, a vigil was held in response to the Russian attacks, with Oksana and her husband Taras Moroz explaining their experiences in IUP's Leonard Hall.
I think it was in October that in Ukraine there was a...
At first, I was the one who initiated that vigil. I thought, if something like that big is happening, there should be some statement of support. but it was not coming. For me, it was also good to see that not even, if people don't even have any Ukrainian friends, or they are just there supporting, because it's not, even about just Ukraine. It's about whole humanity, and, it's democracy worldwide.
While support is now with the Moroz family and Ukrainians at IUP, it still doesn't shake the harsh reality of this war.
I hope that, we will win this war. So I don't want to say when the war ends. No, it's actually we want Ukraine to win. If the whole world lets Russia win, then Russia will move on to next countries. Ukrainians are those who fight for their freedom. We will not just give up easily.
The Moroz family says that they wish there was no reason for the vigil to happen in the first place, as many do. Their hometown, Ivano-Frankivsk, was hit by 6 missiles shortly after the attack started.
Tuesday, everybody's talking about this thing that Putin announced. And then Wednesday night, I usually put kids to bed at 8:30. I remember I go to bed, my husband is next to me. He's just looking something on his phone. And then he tells me, I have a feeling something will happen today. Honestly, I think we slept for 30 minutes, and then I woke up, I looked at him, and he says, Oksana, they just bombarded Kyiv.
There are so many questions to ponder for a lot of Ukrainians around the world, including how things will turn out.
By now, there are so many losses from the Russian side that I think it's also telling that actually Ukrainians are strong and they can win this fight. I am hoping that it will get resolved soon, because, the more days it takes, the more people are dying. I honestly don't think that talking is the way to resolve this. There has to be more actionable steps to be done.
We can only hope that this attack on the Eastern European country will end soon. For now, Oksana has a message on how people can show their support.
The easiest way is also sharing with others. If you learn something, make sure you check your sources. If you have friends or relatives or somebody who is from Ukraine, definitely reach out. That shows that they care, they know what is happening, and they want to support. If you really want to donate money, for example, I would advise to get in touch with somebody who is from there and can give you, this is the real people I know that they're doing this and this.
This is Stoker Wyzorik reporting for IUP TV News.
March is quickly approaching, and with that comes the return of trout season. Every year, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission stocks trout in creeks and lakes throughout the Commonwealth, and by now they have already begun. Trout season opens early on March 25th for Mentored Youth Trout Fishing Day, then it officially begins on April 1st. Throughout the year, nearly 3.2 million trout will be stocked by the Commission in public waterways, with another million fish being stocked by volunteer sportsman groups. As of February 22nd, 6 counties in western Pennsylvania have been stocked, and the rest of the state will catch up in the coming month.
For coffee drinkers, Starbucks launched 3 new coffee drinks in Italy, each drink containing a tablespoon of olive oil. These drinks are not olive oil flavored, but they do add an extra 120 calories to each drink. Starbucks Chief Marketing Officer Brady Brewer said that this is the biggest launch that they've had in decades. The 3 new drinks include a latte, a shaken espresso, and a cold brew. Starbucks' word that they are using for this new line is Oiletto, and they will be using it in each drink. Will this new platform be a fail, or will customers like this new trend since extra virgin olive oil has health benefits? Parts of the US will get to try these new coffees this spring, and Starbucks will begin to incorporate this change into all of its stores globally.
Second only to beef, fish is one of the most consumed sources of meat in the US, and the fish that is consumed the most is catfish. In 2021, it was estimated that American fish farms produced 307 million pounds of catfish for human consumption. But aquaculture is a complicated profession made worse by infections and disease, which kill millions of farmed fish each year. But recently, researchers have come up with a way to solve this growing problem. Scientists are now injecting alligator DNA into farm-raised catfish to make them more resilient against disease. Initial tests have discovered the additional DNA has made the catfish more impervious to infection. This could theoretically help minimize the environmental impact of fish farming, decrease waste, and make the process overall less resource intensive. And for those worrying about the taste, experts say diners likely wouldn't notice a difference when eating genetically modified catfish. This work has not yet been peer-reviewed, but if approved, genetically modified fish could be the future of American food consumption.
For some, safety is not always a guarantee everywhere they go. In IUP, different offices and organizations continue to make better connections among students so they can feel safe and protected on campus. Our reporter Justin Brown and Thomas Rainey has the story.
Being LGBT is a difficult task. In 2015, 36% of LGBT students attending IUP reported experiencing conduct that interfered with their ability to learn. However, some people are committed to changing that. Meet Ted Koger, Deputy Title IX Officer and Senior Assessment Coordinator for LGBTQIA support here at IUP. Ted has been supporting students for over 20 years. Ted told us about what resources are available for LGBTQIA students on campus.
We have a number of student organizations along with space in Muscle in Elkin Hall. We're currently interviewing in that room, so you're seeing some of the flags that we showcase. We have a number of different resources and this space available for students whenever the building is open. And so with LGBTQIA support, we have Queer Conversations. That's a series that is available for all students. We also have the group Identity in You. We have Crow Gay, which is a group who meets and crochets together. We also have Trans Tea Time that meets on Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, we have Pride Alliance. And on Friday, we have Crow Gay again, and we have Colors in Unity. So as some of the students say, every day is a gay day at IUP.
For some people, it's hard to realize that every day is a gay day. Just ask Liv or Ollie Martin, president of Pride Alliance.
I was tabling at an Experience IUP event for students that have already been accepted to IUP, and they're just trying to show them around campus the different organizations we have. And one of those was LGBTQIA+ support. So this student was with another group of students, and they seemed like they really didn't want to approach the table, or they were curious, but they didn't want to actually come over and see what we had. So friends kind of dragged them over, and they seemed pretty hesitant, and I was delighted to see them that following fall at one of our meetings. And when we usually do names, pronouns, question of the day, that student in particular name and said, but if you want to use my preferred name, that's fine. I don't really care, and wouldn't really give preferred pronouns. But as that student continued through these meetings and continued to show up, I just saw this 180 change in them. Suddenly, he's sitting there going, hi, my name is their preferred name, and my pronouns are he, him, or they, them. And as they discovered more about their identity, they started showing that. Throughout that process, it really struck me as we did something right.
This story is just one of many for LGBT students here at IUP, and from how things look, it won't be the last. This is Justin Brown, IUP News.
A 16-year-old hedgehog named Thorvald has been crowned the world's oldest scientifically confirmed European hedgehog. Citizen scientists discovered Thorvald in Denmark during a project that aimed to monitor the endangered species. The findings from that project revealed insights on hedgehogs' mortality and life expectancy, as well as documented Thorvald's record-breaking age. The average hedgehog is expected to only live for about 2 years due to a plethora of threats, including habitat loss, pesticides, and predatory pets. Covering the ground with concrete and other impenetrable materials also cuts off hedgehogs from being able to find important food sources like worms and slugs. In the past 70 years, hedgehog numbers have dropped in Europe from 30 million to 1 million, making the species an important one for conservation. Needless to say, Thorvald the hedgehog made history, and hopefully that will bring attention to the preservation of his species.
Bad winter weather has caused over 1,300 flights to be canceled. These flights included travels within the U.S. and anyone traveling in or out of the country. The National Weather Service is calling for blizzards and dangerous wind speeds for western and northern central United States. Officials have warned residents to stay home and off the roads due to potential whiteout conditions. Be sure to keep an eye out for school delays and cancellations over the next few days.
Well, Chloe, last week was full of really nice weather. There were times that I didn't even need to wear a sweatshirt, but this week has really reminded me of what Punxsutawney Phil said about 6 more weeks of winter.
Well, JJ, do not put that hoodie away just yet because the cold weather is still around and it's still lingering. After the past couple of days of rain, it seems to be clearing up for the rest of the week with partly cloudy skies. We had our one day of warm weather, but for the rest of the week and into the next, the temperature will stay just below 50 degrees. Hopefully warmer days are upon us, but until then, do not put your winter jackets away just yet.
Now that the weather is getting nicer, it is a great opportunity for students on campus to take a walk down to Philly Street to check out the shops. A place worth going into is the Philly Street Candle Bar.
Candles for some people are a way of getting into the holiday spirit, and others love them because of the cozy aroma they create. Not only is the Philly Street Candle Bar a great experience to share with loved ones, you will also walk out with a custom candle. You start the process by grabbing a paper and pencil they provide and make your way over to the wall of scents. There are 120 different scents to choose from, so once you make your way through all of them, you get to choose the perfect jar for your custom fragrance. Finally, a member will assist in the process of making your candle. The Candle Bar is a new spot only being open a couple of years, but has made a mark on this small town.
I like the people that come in. It's really unique with how they come in and they're like, wow, we've never had like a place like this. So the fact that we can like custom create like their own blended candle, it's just such a unique experience. My go-to scent would be the Fruity Pebbles mixed with carnival corn. It smells like really good. You'll have to try it out.
They also have a variety of candle holders ranging from a more basic style or a more decorative style for an upgrade. It is a great place to come for outings such as going with friends, a date, family gatherings, and can even schedule private events. Philly Street Candle Bar is located on Philly Street, Indiana, PA. It is right near IUP campus, so it's a great spot for students to go to try something new. This is Emily Schmitzer and Chloe Pilston reporting for IUP TV News.
Weeks after the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, and a week after the train collision outside of Houston, Texas, 31 Union Pacific train cars derailed in Gothenburg, Nebraska early on Tuesday. The cars were carrying coal and were derailed at 1:45 Central Standard Time, a Union Pacific spokesperson reported. They claimed that there were no injuries and that one of the train tracks near the derailment site reopened at 8 a.m. as crews cleared the area. This cause of this derailment is still under investigation, but it is still interesting to see a pattern arise out of these derailments.
Our sports reporter Nathan Ostler was able to get an inside look at why both the men's and women's programs have had such great successes this season.
Over the course of this semester, many students might have noticed the KCAC has been bringing in a lot of cars into their parking lot. This is because both basketball teams are having amazing seasons. I talked to student announcer Danny Erb about what it means, especially for the men's basketball team, to be in one of their greatest seasons in team history.
Yeah, I think the basketball team is they're promising. You know, they were undefeated for the longest time. They fortunately took a tough loss down there at Mercyhurst. We interviewed Tom Law after one of the games, and he said, our intention wasn't to go undefeated. It was the bring home a championship, and I think he put it the right way. I think this team has a lot of good chemistry. I think they are easily the best team in Division II as they're ranked in the coaches poll #1. Yeah.
Danny also talked to me about what it means for the town and the community that the basketball team is having such an amazing season that has been noticed nationally.
Yeah, I think the team means a lot for the community here in Indiana. I mean, even whenever I've done games where it's over break, and there's still a lot of people that come. There's a lot of townies that come, and people bring their kids. There's field trips that come there, and of course the students. are a huge impact. You know, they have their little student section, you know, the whiteout, and I think it definitely brings people together on campus, you know, this team and how good they've been playing, and I think the team feeds into that as well.
The basketball team filling up the KCAC and the basketball team winning almost every game has not been the only thing making Danny very happy about this season. Danny is a student announcer for CMPR, and he talked to me what this meant for his future career endeavors.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for me. I know my guy Peyton Trollinger and Tori Roper, the guys I've been doing it with, my great color announcers. It's a great opportunity for us, you know, with CMPR work and Com 360, which is the class that we're in right now. So if you want to do that and you want to announce, I would definitely advise to either get involved in CMPR or Com 360. But yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I think that it's going to look good on a resume. You know, it's what I'm trying to do with my life. I'm trying to get in that sports field. I'd love to call some games, if it's play-by-play, if it's color, if it's sideline, or even if I'm, you know, on camera. Anything in sports, and I think that it's, as I said before, a great opportunity, and it's definitely a lot better than a lot of other schools can promise you with their broadcasts. And IUP easily has the best broadcasting in the PSAC and the Division II that I've seen so far. Our production's one of the best. We have an incredible crew in the pit, you know. From our directors to our technical directors to our replay guys to our cameramen. I mean, it's a phenomenal crew, and, you know, I'm just really proud to be a part of that.
As we are in the midst of the end of the season for the men's basketball team, the playoff push is just beginning. The men's basketball team is hoping to make the Final Four yet again in the national championships, and hopefully this year bring a national championship to the small town of Indiana, Pennsylvania. Reporting for IUP News, I'm Nathan Osler.
In sports news, the IUP men's and women's basketball teams will conclude their regular seasons at Cal U this coming Saturday. Both teams are poised to end their seasons on high notes as they begin working towards the upcoming PSAC tournaments and NCAA Division II tournament runs. The IUP Division I hockey team officially clinched the #1 seed in the CHMA hockey playoffs. They finished the season with an 11-1 conference record. This weekend marks the official start to MLB spring training. All 30 MLB teams will be in action as they begin their journeys towards winning a World Series. Both major and minor league players will be involved in games, as some will be fighting for roster spots in the major leagues. The Pittsburgh Pirates begin play on Saturday as they will take on the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm Nathan Osler, and that is going to do it for your sports report. Now back to you guys.
So, Chloe, I recently had a professor talk to our class about not using ChatGPT for essays and other things. It's apparently this AI website that you can put any prompt into, and it can write a script, it can write an essay, it can write virtually anything you want it to. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, honestly, I think it's a little bit frightening, but it's also very exciting because on one hand, it's nice to see like the technology developing and being able to like write essays and stuff for us.
Right.
But also on the other hand, it's a little frightening for the future of writers. Also, what's stopping students from using ChatGPT to write their essays and assignments for them?
No, I completely agree with you. And we're kind of living in the future with AI technology, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And on the other side of the spectrum for AI technology, there's websites that can just create art out of any prompt that you want it to. And in fact, our very own reporter, Levi Donaldson, wrote a story on that.
Hey, this is Jay-Z. I'm just a robot voice, body, internet. Welcome to artificial intelligence. The rock is in a building.
That was an AI version of Jay-Z. And while the artificial intelligence might not have fooled you this time, it's getting better and better every day. Artificial intelligence has been making art recently, and the tools have become a lot more public. There's a lot of discussion about how AI will be used in the future and how it should be used now. This is Osama, a businessman from Saudi Arabia.
Sometimes the technology, this is in general, sometimes the technology, it has a negative impact on social relations with people. Sometimes it has like a positive impact. For business, it makes the business grows very fast because the message is delivered for the audience very quick. Like a computer, I don't know actually how they will use it, or the real tools to execute the technology. But if it's a computer or a paper or using like the development, it's like softwares. So it will be great because what you will think about, you will execute it on whatever, the computer or the paper, without any limitation. A clear message. If you like saying nice thing about those people, so by all means. But if you bring people, it's like Abraham Lincoln was like one of the, I think, in American history, and talk badly about him, I don't think it is a good idea. So if you deliver a good message about those people, so it will be a perfect tool.
Hey, it's fake Jay-Z, artificial intelligence has good and bad, but it's true that it unloads limitless ideas.
This is Cole, a local filmmaker.
Yeah, I signed up for Midjourney way back when it was first starting, which is it's an AI like image art generator on Discord, and you type in a prompt and it creates 4 versions of the prompt, and then you can choose which of the versions you want to make variations of, so make 4 more versions of that are different, or if you want to enhance one of the 4 versions, and you can just go like that. I thought it was really cool. I did it a lot because I wanted to see what it was like, and my favorite thing to do in that program was use it to make so I would type in 1800s Antarctic expedition with sea creature or something, and photograph, and it would be really cool because it would be like a super grainy, super cool, old black and white photograph of these explorers, but then have this crazy weird monster in the background. And I thought that was super cool. It's still not good enough to make it look realistic yet, but it's getting there.
There are pros and cons to artificial intelligence and how it can make art. But just like every era of new technology, the people in the field will continue to adapt. My name is Levi Donaldson for IUP News.
Today is the beginning of Lent. During Lent, it is common for people to give up meat on Fridays and stick to other options such as shrimp, crab cakes, and of course the go-to fish sandwich. For the students here on campus, it can be hard to stick to your traditions when away from home. This could just be because you don't know where to go to get a meatless option or have no way to get there. Some options when up at school is to check out the local churches for fish fries. Also, for students who may not be able to wander off campus, North Dining Hall always has vegetarian options that are different each day. Just off of campus, there are multiple fast food places that serve fish sandwiches as well, such as McDonald's, Wendy's, and as of recently, Popeyes does too. Instead of giving up on your traditions, try out these options instead. And that's going to be it for us this week at IUP News in association with students looking for careers in the communications field. We'll be back next Thursday with stories related to the IUP Symphony and other interesting stories. I'm Chloe Pilston.
And I'm John Hurl. We are your hosts for today, along with faculty advisor Dr. Aya Mukhtar. Please take care and have a safe weekend.